Hi, Big V here. Today we're talking teams. It's Verl Workman with Workman Success Systems. And today I'd like to talk about how and what to delegate like a true pro. As you pay attention to this video, I'm going to teach you how to think about all of the tasks that you do in your business and whether or not you should do it or whether or not you should delegate it. I'm going to give you the 3 critical ways of delegating so you understand how to delegate and the levels of delegation. And finally, I'm going to share with you complete roles and responsibility sheet and who should do it on the team. So you'll be able to go through it with your own team and determine whether or not you're properly staffed to deliver the kind of service you want to your clients. Now, a lot of people wonder, should I delegate or should I not delegate? And let me just give you this simple concept. I'm going to ask you a simple question. How many businesses are you aware of where they're wildly successful and there's only one person in the company? Dentist office? No. Doctor's office? Well, no. Grocery store? Well, no, they have lots of people. A car wash? No, they have several people. A law office? Like, I'm trying to think how many entrepreneurs have massive success as companies of one. I often think that they have moderate success, but not massive success. So how do you go from a company of one with the mindset of nobody can do it as good as me to the place in your business and life where you're overseeing the activities of others and your clients are having amazing experiences whether you're involved in them or not? The only way I know how to do that is to learn how to delegate. First, you need to understand that you can delegate. And second, what things should you delegate? So let's talk about how to delegate. What are the 3 types of delegation that everybody should understand as they begin to lead other people? This could be whether you're leading virtual assistants, in-house assistants, buyer's agents, listing partners, or a family member who's just trying to help you out. The 3 levels of delegation are simply this. Number 1 is just to do exactly what I've asked you to do. I've given you the directions. I've shown you how to do it. I've given you a roadmap of how to do it exactly like I've asked. I'm going to encourage you that when you delegate like that you always give the instruction on video. Open up a Zoom video, give the instructions, show an example of how you want something done, and then have them go do it. By giving them a video of what to do, if during the process of executing the task, they can't remember exactly what to do, they can go back and watch the video on how to do it. Anything you do 3 times in your business, you must create a system for it. As you're delegating, you're teaching somebody else how to do it. You're also building the system so that anybody sitting in that seat can continue to do that task going forward. The second level of a delegation is what we call partial supervision, meaning I'm going to give you a task or something I'd like you to do. I want you to go and look at a couple of different options, come back to me with what the solutions might be, and we'll decide together which one you're going to take. Partial supervision is the beginning of trusting someone to be able to do it on their own. When they show you they can choose a couple of different options, come back with you, recommend one, and you like their answers, then leads you to the 3rd level of delegation, which is my favorite. This is where you know you're starting to be an effective leader, is where you completely can trust the people that you lead. Here's something that needs to be done. Go out and get it done. I trust you'll have our best interest at heart. As you gain trust and you give trust to the people you're delegating to, your ability to let things go will increase, and their ability to grow in their role will also improve. So understand there's 3 levels of delegation. When you hire your first assistant, you don't start with the complete trust. You start with, do it like I told you, then start using some creativity, then you give them trust. What happens over time as you begin to see that they have the ability to do a good job? I firmly believe that everybody that works for me gets up every day and wants to win. They want to have a good day. They want to have success in their role and they want to do a good job. And so if we treat them as if that's why they're there and they really want to do a good job, and you use the delegation strategy to give them opportunities to fail, support them and teach them and help them develop, you'll be able to step back from your business and not have to do every individual task. I remember being in California. I had gone out to meet with a team. This team did about 100 million in sales, and they wanted to grow to 200 million, then 300 million, then 500 million, selling high dollar properties. When dealing with high dollar properties and luxury real estate, what I learned from the owner is that he really had a hard time letting things go. And so as I flew out of their office, I sat him in a room and I said, okay, let's talk about your team. It was the team leader and 2 assistants that were both licensed. The team assistants and the team leader answered the question all the same. And here's the question: who does what? And they say, oh, we work really well together. We all do everything. And I'm like, yeah, but whose responsibility is it to make sure something gets done? Well, they all said it was their responsibility. And I said, well, how do you divide and conquer so you're not all duplicating each other's efforts? Well, we have a pretty good way of doing that. And so I said, all right, let's really break it down and let's see. And so we created a sheet called the roles and responsibility. Now I'm going to give that to you just for watching this video. At the very end, I'm going to give you a link that you can download the roles and responsibility sheet. Now this roles and responsibility sheet is a $500 million producing team. So whether don't think you need it or you think you have it clearly defined, unless you're doing 500 million, it might be worth taking a look at theirs. Let me take you through and show you what it looks like. So this is kind of what the spreadsheet looks like, and here's how we broke it down. What I said is I want you to make a list of everything that the team does for sellers, and make a list of everything they do for buyers, everything we do for the support role, and then what are the miscellaneous tasks that we have to do for marketing, social media, video, and others. And they made a list of all these things, and there's dozens, there's probably 300 activities that all got written out. Once they listed all the things they did for sellers before, during, and after the listing, for buyers before, during, and after they were under contract, support staff, all the things they did for communication, inspections, and then all the individual miscellaneous tasks that they had to do as a business, we had an unbelievable list. And this list had everything that needed to be done in a business. It was unbelievable. And then I said to the team, here's what I'd like you to do. I would like the two assistants to go into a room and put a check mark by all the things they do. And then I'd like the team leader to put a check box by who he thinks on the team does the task. Here's what it looked like when they were done. The team leader's box was checked on every task. The client care coordinator's box was checked on every task. We had a whole bunch of tasks that nobody was doing that were checked here, the things that needed to be done, and then we had things that the agents done that were checked off. What was interesting is that the team leader and the two client care coordinators had their names on everything. And so we got back and we looked at these sheets together, and I said to the team, now here's what I'd like you to do. I would like the team members, the two licensed assistants, to go in a room and take the team leader's name off of all the things they don't believe they need him to participate in. And I want the team leader to do the same thing. Here's what we realized. First of all, the team leader had a hard time taking his name off of everything, but the team members said, you don't need to do this, 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 we do need you to do this, we don't need you to do this, we do need you to do this. And when they got done, the team leader only had 5 or 6 things they needed to do. The team members believed they could do it well, and they needed to be empowered to be able to do it. So the team leader asked this question: how can I trust my team members to do all of these things? And how does it make sense? And I said, when you're making as much money as you're making as a team leader, you have to put a value to the time you spend away from family. His number was $1,000 an hour. Now, I want you to think about all the tasks that you do in your business. If you had to pay someone $1,000 an hour to do that task, would you be willing to do it? And he said, well, no, I wouldn't. And I said, then you can't do it yourself. You see, if you're not willing to pay someone $1,000 an hour, but that's what you're worth, that means you can't afford to pay yourself $1,000 an hour to do the task, so you need to delegate it or outsource it. And so anything that you do 3 times, we create a system for. We determine the roles and responsibilities. We make videos and an operations manual of all those things so it gets done the way we want it to do. And then we empower our client care coordinators to be able to do it. We also identified a role on the team that didn't exist. We needed a runner. We needed someone that would put signs in, that would go do basic things for all these listings that we had and go run errands, because that was not the things my client care coordinators should do either, or my licensed assistants. What we learned was that when you spend time doing the right things, we were able to go from 100 million to 250 million to 400 million and 500 million, because the team leader focused on the 3 or 4 things that were directly related to generating revenue. Here's my question to you. Are you focused on the right things, and do you get the highest return on your time away from family? If not, let's break it down. Use the roles and responsibilities checklist. Change the things that you do or don't do for the way you do business on your team, and download it. I promise you, if you understand the 3 levels of delegation, you copy what the great teams do, and you implement this system into your business, not only will you be more effective, but you'll have a team that just cranks, and everybody on the team will love what they do, they'll be cohesive, and you'll be able to delegate all of those things. Remember, it's all about return on time. Are you getting the high enough return on time? Download the roles and responsibilities checklist. Let's go through it as a business, and you're well on your way to delegating like a pro.